It's time for some StarCraft. It took us a minute to get here, but we're finally here. We have a PvP. And remember, guys, this is all new patch. We've got new maps. I know it's not as new anymore. It's been out for a little over a week now, but I'm still very excited about it. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of a Hecate, we've got the Red Protoss for Starlight Twinkle. Nice. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner for Dragon Kitesy, Hero. Now, I am interested if PvP meta is gonna change at all. I'm just not smart enough to know these answers on my own. Maybe if I really like scoured the patch notes and really thought about some ways it could change, I might come up with something. But until I start seeing the real people do it, I'm not gonna believe that there'll be changes or what they're gonna be. So I'm really excited to see, particularly Hero here, figure some stuff out. Nice tends to be very aggressive in this matchup. And it's really interesting that Hero's doing the low ground single gate expand. And you see Nice didn't block his Nexus at all. It's because Nice wants to attack it. This is a classic move. Hero doesn't low ground expand like this in a normal PvP. With an open ramp, I don't think he would do this. This is specifically anti-Nice. It's because he wants to defend the low ground against whatever Nice is planning on doing, rather than trying to defend, the high ground and losing a gateway and making the game get to this weird, one base v one base thing. Hero feels confident that he can hold that low ground. So we might not see any balance changes in this game, anything patch related. I think it's probably going to be something very similar to what we've seen before. Nice did cancel this proxy pylon. Obviously, Hero had spotted it, so probably wouldn't have lasted very long. But I'm still interested to see what Nice is going to be going for. It's a third gate so far. Oh, and both of those probes out on the map went down. So if Nice wants to proxy, he's going to have to send out a third probe. But for right now, he's just staying at home. Hero, in the meantime, getting into an Oracle. He's just chilling. Not making a ton of probes. He is up at 28, but it doesn't seem like he's pushing hard for him. Certainly not chrono boosting them or anything. Nice is going to sneak an Adept in. There's no shield battery here. We can absolutely kill a couple of workers, but Nice needs to kill more than just a couple of workers because Hero is way ahead. It looks like 3, 4. Oh, nope, never mind. There's a shield battery here. 3 is going to be the amount. The Oracle just flew over the new proxy pylon. And, the shield battery is just about to finish, but I think the Oracle might be able to sneak in. Oh, it doesn't quite get there before the battery finishes up. Still going to be very annoying in the main base. Something just got canceled. I'm not entirely sure what it was. It might have been another gateway. But the Oracle gets a kill. It looks like some damage went down on the other side of the map, though. But Hero still ahead workers. And, he's going to be able to take down this pylon because Nice isn't nearby. Ooh, Nice shows up, but he's against a prismatically aligned Void Ray. Ooh, I think he'll be able to get the Void Ray. Yeah, another Stalker shows up. Nicely done by Nice. And actually keeps this Stalker alive as well. So he only loses one Stalker for that Void Ray. Hero may be diving a little deep, but I love this. Hero has a cannon coming up. He's already got 3 shield batteries. Another cannon on the way. I'd love to see a new pylon go down, because right now, this pylon is kind of the ultimate Artosis pylon for Hero. He's got a forge up here, but this pylon is powering absolutely everything else that Hero needs in his life. And he is going to drop another pylon. He's fully walling with this pylon for right now. I'm just going to try to hold on with the Void Ray. Of course, Hero is mining more. So theoretically, over time, this should be very good for Hero. But that's the important building. That Robo finishing up. I actually can't believe this one pylon was powering everything for a hot minute. finally has some, a couple of tasteless pylons. We think about one tasteless pylon per Artosis pylon, but you're allowed to have two, actually. Little poly-tasteless action. And Nice now is just trying to trim off some buildings here, trying to get a little bit of value, but not expanding. Instead, going into Blink and dropping a proxy gateway. Nice is not chilling at all. But it's going to be hard to crack this because by the time Blink is done, Hero's going to have a second Immortal out. Immortals are powerful units. Stalkers, though, continuing to kind of poke through, working on this pylon a little bit now. And we'll be able to kill it. Hero dropping back, building more stuff, another pylon going down. There are 4 cannons here. I'm feeling a little worried for Hero. This is feeling very much like a Max Paxi hold, but he doesn't have any gateways up right now, so there's no gateway production at all. Literally, the only production structure he has is this Robo. Now, Immortals actually did get a pretty big buff against this. Now that I'm thinking about this, I kind of forgot about the Immortal Shield. You can't just blink on an Immortal anymore and one-shot it with all the Stalkers, or even like two-shot it, because all of the damage it takes in the first round of damage is absorbed by that shield. So if you have all your Stalkers hit it at once, it won't take all that damage. But this is really nice, as he's gonna blink right up into the main base. The probe is there to watch, but now the Stalkers are all up here. Nice. He's in here with the Stalkers. He's going to trigger one of the shields. He's going to blink forward. He's going to try to get that Immortal. Triggers the other Immortal shield so he can kill that one as well. The prismatically lined Void Ray is doing a lot of work, but the probes are starting to run the wrong direction. And it looks like all 3 of those Immortals went down. Stalker's going to blink down to the low ground. Void Ray's coming down to play. Oracle even going to show up. Oh, and a bunch of Stalkers just died in these last few hits. Nice is going to blink out of there, but with only 8 Stalkers... Or, I'm sorry, with only 5 Stalkers, 8 probes were killed, but Hero has just built a couple more rounds of probes. He's obviously still way ahead in that regard. And as Nice continues to try to poke, he's just going to realize it's hopeless. He's running too low on Stalkers. He doesn't have a ton of money coming in. And Nice not able to crack Hero there. Kind of fun, though. A fun little interaction. A slight change that I don't think is going to affect things too much, but it does make it a little bit easier on the defense, a little bit harder on the attack. Instead of just blinking in when you have the opportunity to kill the Immortals, you have to make sure to trigger those shields first and then kill the Immortals after, then focus fire them afterwards. Gives the Immortals a little more time to do damage, takes a little more focus. I think Nice executed that very, very well there. I didn't see him miss any shots where he was like wasting damage on the Immortal Shield, which is kind of what I would expect to see from lower level players. It's a really fun little micro thing, now that I'm looking at it, that I think really maybe helps lower level players defend all-ins like that. Makes the Immortal a little bit stronger defensively, but at the highest level, probably not going to make a ton of difference. Game 2 is going to be on Golden Aura. I see the chat suggestion to just retreat and make a Nexus. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to Nice, who doesn't believe in making Nexuses. At some point in PvP, he just decided they're not for him. I'm spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Golden Aura. We'll see. Maybe this is the game that changes it up. We have Nice for Starlight Twinkle. Spawn in the upper left-hand corner for Dragon Kitesy Gaming. It's Hero. Yeah, Nice he's been very, very aggressive in the last, 6 months or so, I guess, in PvP. I've seen him proxy robos and, proxy gateways and all sorts of stuff way more often than any other Protoss. He's very consistently been aggressive. Hero not going to go for the low ground this time, interestingly enough. A golden aura. Could be interesting. Last game, I mean, the map doesn't really make too much of a difference when the entire focus of the game is just on one player's base. It matters that you can blink up into the main, but pretty much every map you have a way to do that. Some maps are just a little bit harder than others. This one a little bit narrower, but like you could still blink all those stalkers up there. I don't think it makes too much of a difference which map you're on. For the most part, I'm sure there are some exceptions. I'm just excited to see the new maps. It's kind of fun to get to learn the maps again. I feel rusty at it because we haven't had many new maps. Even in the last few years, like the maps just haven't been changing over as much. I'm not quite as used to learning new maps as I feel like I was a few years ago. Nice, gonna drop the Robo. And once again, continuing the trend of aggression here from Nice. Keep an eye on Hero's side of the map. Hero, again, not going for that low ground wall. Yeah, it's going to allow him to build some tech on one base if he wants to, and Stargate seems to be the name of the game. Be interested to see how it's used here. Phoenixes could be very nice if this ends up being just like a Warp Prism kind of play out of Nice, which I imagine there will be a Warp Prism involved. So you got to remember when watching games like this, a lot of what happens is not just what's happening in the game, it's what both players know the other player is capable of, right? Nice maybe feels like in a macro game, standard macro game against Hero, he's not going to have that much of a chance. And that might lead him to just be very aggressive. Try to get some damage done, try to get these adepts in. Maybe commit a little more to this kind of stuff than he would against a player he feels more comfortable against in a longer game. That last game, if those stalkers end up coming against, you know, pinned up against that wall, he killed a gateway and a cyber core and a Stargate. Maybe he would have just expanded against somebody he felt more comfortable against in a longer macro game, even behind a few workers, if he's able to kill a lot of that production. But against Hero, I don't know. Maybe Nice is feeling like it's not going to work out. Now, Hero's going to get in here with the Oracle. Oh, and that is not a fake Oracle. I think for a second, Nice wasn't sure. It's going to get a couple of kills. The Adepts are going to hit the front of the wall. But also, very importantly, Hero now knows exactly what he's up against. It's a 3-gate Robo, the good old standard. Hero's already got a Nexus on the way, and it can be very difficult to hold this. So he's just going to build a Robo up on the high ground. I don't think he's going to try to hold the Nexus. I think he's going to let it go. Oh, keeping some Stalkers back at home. It's a bit of a hindrance to Nice's attack. Oh, but Hero getting an Adept caught. The other one should be able to get away. It looks like Hero is going to try to hold the low ground. He's got the shield battery down here. Stalker taking a lot of damage from the first volley. I love the single Adept just shading out here just to keep an eye on what's going on, see if that Prism is trying to move up into the main base or what's going on. There is an Immortal on the way for Hero. Oh, and there goes that Prism. Hero didn't quite have vision of it, but it looks like he's thinking about it. He's going to send the shade out, but he is prepared for this, and as he spots it, he's going to move up into the main base and start fighting against it. Nice is going to target down the pylon. Great kill there, depowering both gateways and warping in. The Oracles are going to come in and turn on. They're getting targeted down by the Stalkers, but that means that the Stalkers of Hero can take down the Warp Prism, and there is the GG. And I believe well played was attempted, but it's just well. GG well. As Hero takes the 2-0, defending Nice's all-ins.